Right, welcome back guys. Okay, we're still looking at fractions, decimals and percentages today. Okay, we did converting between decimals and percentages in the last lesson, so if you're still a little bit unsure of that, feel free to go back and have a look. Okay, however today we're going to look at converting between percentages and fractions, and then fractions to percentages. Okay, so typical question, convert 10% to a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so where do we start? Okay, so a percent is out of 100. Okay, we know that. Okay, so our fraction, okay, has to be out of 100. Okay, the only number that's logical to put on top of that fraction, put it in the numerator. Remember, numerator on top, denominator on the bottom. The only number that it makes sense to go there is 10. 10% is exactly the same as 10 out of 100. Okay, 10 over 100, sorry. Okay, we don't finish there though. We have made a fraction, which is what we needed to. Okay, but this bit here is the key bit. We need it in its simplest form. Okay, so we need to find a number that we can divide the numerator by and divide the denominator by as well. Okay, so we need a number that we can divide 10 by, and we need a number that we can divide 100 by, and that will simplify it as far as we can. Okay, so the number I'm going to use, I'm going to divide the top, the numerator and the denominator by 10. Okay, so whatever you do to the numerator, you must do to the denominator. Okay, whatever you do to the numerator, the top number, you must do to the bottom number, the denominator as well. Okay, so 10 divided by 10 is 1, and 100 divided by 10 is 10. Okay, 10 times 10 is 100, so 100 divided by 10 is 10. So therefore, 10% is 1 over 10 in fraction form. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our percentage, put it over 100 and simplify it. Okay, not too bad there. Okay, slightly more complicated, I'd potentially say. Okay, is converting fractions to percentages. In essence, what we're doing is we're doing this, but we're doing it in reverse. Okay, so the last thing we did here was we simplified. Okay, up there. So what we need to do is we need to get our fraction over 100. Okay, so what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to write 2 over 5, 2/5. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to get this denominator back up to 100. Okay, so we're going to have to times. Here we divided, we're doing the opposite here, so we're actually timesing. Okay, so we need a number that we can times 5 by that gets us up to 100. Okay, that number is 20. Okay, 5 times by 20 is 100. So our fraction now has a denominator of 100. Key bit I told you here was that whatever we did to the denominator, we must do to the numerator, and that doesn't change. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to times 2 by 20. We times 5 by 20, so we need to do it to 2 as well. Okay, whatever you do to the numerator, you must do to the denominator. Now 2 times 20 is 40. Okay, that's okay, we can do that. Now I told you here, okay, the percentage is out of 100. Okay, we've got the fraction over 100, which is what we need. So this top part, the numerator, is the percentage. Okay, so what we've got, so we've got 2 over 5 is the same as 40%. Okay, so in this lesson we've converted percentages to fractions. Okay, we take the percentage, we put it over 100, and we simplify. Okay, don't forget to give it as a nice finished off answer. Okay, and then we converted fractions to percentages. Okay, so we found a number, we've made the denominator up to 100, okay, by timesing it by 20. It might not necessarily be 20, so if you had this denominator as over 50, okay, we times it by 2. Okay, maybe we should make a note of these actually. So over 50, okay, we times by 2. Over 25, okay, we would have to times by 4. Over 20, we times by 5. Over 10, we times by 10. All of these are so that we can get the fraction out of 100, so we can get it into a percentage, okay? Over 5, we times by 20 like we did here. And over 2, we times by 50. Okay, they are the key bits. Okay, if you want to pause this and make a note of that, I really would, because that will be helpful in the future. Okay, if you've got any more questions, let me know. Okay, unless not, have a good day, guys.